All right. Who's in here? Two people, and I think one of them is me, but that's okay. Hi, everyone. The two people that are here. Wait, one of them is me again. So, Arjun. Welcome. Canucks, huge win, 8-5 win over our best friends, the Boston Bruins. Hey, everyone. Oh, nice to see all you guys there. Father Harrison, Puck God, Adam, I permanently, Arjun. Thanks for coming in. Oh, it says there's 10 people in here, but you don't all have to say hi. Why did it feel so short today? Excuse the mess behind me. We're doing a bit of cleanup, but we're not here to talk about my house. My lovely wife, Gail, just left to go to a meeting for my son, Sean's grad. I'm going to put the seat up a bit. Jake, Kayla's here with Mickey in the next room, so they might make an appearance. Jacob, who I thought was going to be in it today, actually is playing in a volleyball game right now. Not even the season. I don't know what they're doing. And then Sean has to go pick up Jacob when he's done. So Jacob may not make an appearance. Sorry to disappoint you, but we'll just save him up for the next time. Okay, let's get going. Hi. Actually, before I respond to that, big game for the Canucks, 8-5, another 13-goal total. Friday was 7-6 over Colorado. Then they kind of went down back to normal. There was a 3-2 shootout loss in Detroit. And then, of course, tonight's big 8-5 win over Boston. Bo Horvat with 4 points. Louis Eriksson with 3 points. Elias Pettersson with 1 point. Thank goodness, because we wrote that song about him. I'll talk about that a bit later. And overall, I don't know about you. I love these kind of games. I would much rather see a crazy 8-5, 7-6 win than a boring 1-0 or 2-0 win. It's always nice to win no matter what happens. But I like these kind of wins. I don't know about you. So let's just, we'll talk about the game as we go. I'm going to start. I don't want to get too far behind in the comments, and I'll do my best to keep up with them. And then if it ever dies down, I might ask a question or something to get discussion going. So it's great to see a lot of new people here. People from my church community as well. Hey, Eric and Father Harrison, as I mentioned. A bunch of people. Okay, I won't say hi to all of you. Actually, whatever. We'll just see what happens. We just go. It's not like it's too crazy. And then at the very end, we're going to go to, what time is it? 6:56. Let's go to 7:30. So we'll go 35 minutes. And then right at 7:30, I will give my exciting news that I can't wait to share with all of you. How's that for a cliffhanger or whatever? Father Harrison, you do not have to stay all the way until 7:30. I can tell you how it goes because I know it involves you. Okay, here we go. And don't be offended. Don't respond to your comment. If it's a hi or whatever, I appreciate it, but I might get to the questions instead. So hi, hey, hi. It was good. What a crazy game. I'm glad to see it all. Yeah. I got home. I streamed the first period at home on my Shaw Free Range TV app. Then I missed a bit of the first period, the end of the first period, but I drove home safely from Vancouver to Richmond, and I was able to catch the last 2 periods. And thrilling game, and I only missed 1 goal in the first period anyway, so it sounds like I saw all the action. Hello. Hey, what part? Hey, where do you live? What part of Vancouver? Minsu. I live in Richmond. I live in the Stevenson area, the corner of Stevenson Railway, but that's all I'm going to say because I don't want all you guys showing up at my place. Okay. Do you know how much it costs to stitch the C on my Horvat jersey? Oh, that's a good question. It shouldn't be that much, but I've heard that name bars and things are $80. So I don't know if one letter, a C, counts as $80 as well. So you're just gonna have to call the team store and ask them. But yeah, wait, why are you stitching a C on there? He's not the captain yet. But I think I know what you're saying is he should be the captain. Yes, I agree. I've always liked Bo Horvat. I've told the story many times of how my son Sean got to caddy for him 3 years ago at the Jake Milford Golf Tournament. I've loved him ever since. I love the way he plays. I love the way he leads. And yes, Pettersson is the more exciting player, the more skilled player, probably are more of a superstar player, but doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be the best leader. You don't always have to make your captain your best player. So I would be 100% behind Bo Horvat being the captain of this team going forward. But we'll see. Maybe it's at the end of this year. Talk about Krug's instigator in the last 5. Yeah. So they were saying that if you correct me if I'm wrong. I think they were saying that if you get an instigator in the last 5 minutes, is it a 1-game suspension? Someone write down in the comment below. I can't remember what they were saying. I was getting set up for this, but if that's the case, that's just a really dumb move by Torrey Krug. And I like Torrey Krug a lot, actually. But it's a dumb move because he picked Darren Archibald to fight with, which was pretty stupid. Probably the one guy on Canucks that you don't want to fight with. And to do it within the last 5 minutes, why? You're not going to fire your team up. It's too late to make a comeback. I don't know if you're trying to prove something or make a statement, but whatever it is, I think it was a very ill-advised move, but otherwise very smart and good player. But yeah, if someone can comment below what the penalty is for doing that for starting a instigator, getting an instigator in the last 5 minutes. If you can leave that comment below, that would be great. Do you think the Canucks will be a playoff team? Do I think so? You know, if I was pressed at the start of the season, I would have said no. I would have said 2 or 3 years from now, yes, but not this year. Maybe as early as next year. I'm the founder of the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. You guys know that, GLCPC. So on one hand, I should automatically say, yeah, the Canucks will make the playoffs because I'm positive and I'm good looking. Emphasis on the good looking. I mean, emphasis on the positive. But, I mean, there's always a but, it seems like, with the Canucks for the past 3 years. Injuries, you look at all these injuries. Tonight they won. They beat a good team without 4 of their regular forwards and 1 of their regular D-men. They were without Besser, Berchi, Sutter, Beagle, and without Alex Edler. That's crazy. You could argue that's, you know, 1 of their top 2 defensemen and obviously 4 of their top 12 D-man offense forwards. So that's 5 regulars out of the lineup, yet they handled Boston quite handily. So I'm going to start saying, yes, I can see them making the playoffs. Do I think they're going to make the playoffs? I think that's a 50-50 coin flip. I think they can play well all season, or maybe the injuries derail them, although they look like they can handle it a little better. They're getting secondary scoring. They have Elias Pettersson. So there's many factors that they didn't have last year. And let's hope that Horvat, you know, stays healthy, because he's obviously the cog, taking all the faceoffs and playing in the middle as the first line center. So him and Pettersson, both first line centers, you know what I mean, though. So yeah, do I think they can make the playoffs? Yes, of course they can make the playoffs. Will they? I'm going 50-50 right now, but because I'm a founder of the GLCPC, I'm going to lean towards yes. How's that for a long answer to a very short question? Great game for the boys. I agree. Justin, hey, Clay, great cover song and great game. Woo, only 1 point for Elias and no Besser. Imagine a full lineup with Hughes in the future. Yeah, there's a lot of excitement of Pettersson, Besser, and Hughes and Horvat. Maybe you put a Dahlin or Goldobin or Berchi on that first power play unit. That's really exciting. But yeah, to do this without Brock Besser is very impressive. And, you know, I think you could agree with me that it's a good thing that Pettersson's played so well. It's a good thing that Horvat started so well. It's a good thing that, you know, Stetcher has played well on the blue line, because all these positive storylines and the Canucks' overall hot start is taking away a little bit away from Besser's slump. And you know, say, Clay, of course, he's not slumping. He just got 4 points. But I'd say up to that, we may agree that we want to see more goals or more oomph out of him. I've talked about it in 2 of my last 3 videos on my channel, on my Clay's Canucks commentary, that that's 3 injuries, right? 3 major injuries in the last 3 years. His wrist in college, his back at the end of last season, and now his groin. Those are 3 major injuries. And the question is, are you worried? I've been asking, are you worried that Brock Besser may be injury prone? And then if you extend that to the end of the season, when they're going to talk about his new contract, how will that affect him? Obviously, the longer that he's out, the less leverage, the less negotiating power he has. So for his sake, he obviously wants to get back in the lineup and play well. And for us, like I said in my video from today, I'm fine with him taking 2, 3, 4 weeks, whatever it takes to get 100% healed. I'd much rather have him come back at 100% than do 1 or 2 games than playing and then 1 or 2 games off, or 2 or 3 games playing and then 1 or 2 off. Doesn't make sense. Shut him down, get him ready, and as soon as he's ready, let him come back and let's see what happens and go from there. But yes, and a lineup with Pettersson, with Horvat, with Tannen, who's improving, with Besser, and with Hughes, Ulevi, Demko, DiPietro. That's pretty exciting. We're going to have a pretty scary team in about 4 or 5 years. Bosi out of the penalty box. Yeah, I thought about that. Is he took 3 again today, and 3 is kind of like when you really notice that someone takes too many penalties. And I remember there'd be games, I don't think Henrik would take 3, but it was kind of reminiscent of when, you know, it seemed like the Sedins were always going to the penalty box. You don't want your best forwards in the penalty box. However, I would say that Horvat's penalties were effort penalties. Like, it was, whether you call them iffy, but the slash and the hook, it wasn't because he was being lazy. I don't think, at least. It wasn't because he was caught out of play. He was playing hard and maybe, you know, a victim of some bad luck, where sometimes, love them, but sometimes the Sedins got a little lazy, or they weren't the fastest on the back check. So that's where some of their penalties came from. But yes, he needs to stay out of the penalty box. Although it was because he was out, just as he got out of the penalty box, he scored that goal, his second goal of the game. Can Pettersson become 100 point a year man? Yeah, absolutely. I think he can. No, maybe not this season, but I think down the road, 100 points wasn't it crazy that I think Gretzky's record is 212 or 221 for a season? I think it's 212. But and there are years of guys getting 140, 150, 160 points. But yeah, 100 point is the kind of like the magical number now. Could he get it? Yeah, I can certainly see him doing that, especially like I said, maybe not this season or next season, but imagine 3 or 4 years down the road when the power play is lethal, when Besser's matured and healthy all the time, and when Quinn Hughes is feeding him up, and whoever we're going to get in this year's draft. Really confident in Jim Benning's draft picks. We've seen them for all the way from, going back Hughes, and then guys like Ulevi, who's going to be good, Jet Wu is going to be good, and then obviously Pettersson and Brock Besser. So there's a lot to be said about Jim Benning's draft, although I think the 2016 draft wasn't that good. I think that was the year that wasn't that great. But anyways, yes, I can see Pettersson being 100-point a year in the few years, for sure, absolutely. Lawrence, woo, okay, woo to you back, awesome. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to what? Maybe it's about the good news. I'm not sure. Anyways, Granlund had an amazing game, but no finish. Yeah, Granlund, I wasn't sold on him at the start of the season, but I can see how valuable he's been now without Sutter, without Jay Beagle. Granlund, not really a natural center, but the fact that they're playing him at center instead of Brendan Gaunce, who's with the team, instead of calling up, bringing Sam Gagner back up, who's both center and winger. So yes, obviously Travis Green likes Marcus Granlund. I'm just looking at a stat line from tonight. Granlund had 2 assists. So he could have, I think, given to your point, he could have had a couple goals, but 2 assists, 5 shots on goal, so not bad. No hits, no blocks, 1 giveaway, 1 takeaway. 18 minutes of ice, not bad. And equally split 3.5 minutes on power play, 3.5 minutes on shorthanded. So doing the math, that's 11 minutes, at even strength. So that's a great game for Marcus Granlund. So yeah, he's good, and I like him. I'm getting more sold on him as the season goes. Father Harrison, I leave at 7:15, so you should say it around that. Okay, I will go to 7:30 with this live stream, but I'll share my good news at 7:15 because you'll see what the good news is, and I think you'll be happy for me. Hopefully you won't be jealous or envious, but that's not my problem. I hope you won't be, because we're all friends here. Okay, so Father Harrison, yes, I will do it at 7:15. Remind me at 7:15. Someone, no, I'll just remember, or just keep typing like crazy at 7:15, and I'll see it as I catch up with these comments. Sup back. What part of Vancouver do you live in? Hey, I thought I saw that over. Anyways, I live in Richmond. Too bad Gaudette didn't score. Yeah, it'd be nice for him to score, given all the history and all the stories that the Canucks were putting out about Gaudette. But he had a strong game. I don't know if he intentionally let that Horvat pass get back to Hutton, or if he couldn't get a stick on it. But I think Gaudette had a strong game. I'm just looking at his stat line, and Gaudette had 15 minutes of ice time, which is pretty good. And it looks like 2 shots on goal and 1 hit. So not bad. And he was 55% in the faceoff, which is pretty good. So Gaudette did indeed have a good game, although no points for him. I think you should celebrate the big win and the news with some good old sushi. Justin, I will never, ever decline sushi, but I had some yesterday. So today, you might see it on the stove way back there. I have a nice pork chop casserole that I'm going to eat. Not by myself, of course, but going to eat that as soon as I'm done here. So that's what I'm looking forward to tonight. But I think I'm going to go get some sushi tomorrow. I'm starting to crave it now. Thanks a lot, Justin, for leading me into temptation. Brandon, Bo showed up big today. Felt like Petey didn't play much in the third due to the amount of penalties we had. Yeah, with anyone, with any skilled players, obviously, if you don't play on special teams, it's going to disrupt the flow, the regular line rotation, rolling over the lines. And, of course, Pettersson plays on the power play, but not the penalty kill. And we had power plays in the first and second. I think we had 1 in the third, but obviously Boston had more power plays in the third period. Yeah, and then look at Pettersson's ice time, 16-21. So not bad, not great. 1 assist, as we know, 1 shot on goal. So only 1 shot on goal. There are a couple times where I think he had a chance to shoot, but instead he deferred. There's that nice pass to Pouliot when Pouliot put it off the post. That was beautiful. Could have been a second assist for Pettersson there. And don't forget, Pettersson had not the primary, but the secondary, but the third assist on Ben Hutton's goal. And Pettersson started the play by bringing up the puck on the half boards. And I don't know if you guys remember, he did that beautiful cross-ice pass, the sauce pass to Goodolman, who did a great job of taking off his backhand, putting on his forehand, down to Horvat. Horvat through the crease, through Gaudette, and back to Hutton for the Canucks' third goal. Do you think the Canucks will be a playoff team? Do I think they will? Yes. I'm going to say right now, yes, because I'm a founding member of the GLCPC. He will be. Bo, that is. Yes, the captain, I agree. Do you think Canucks will be a playoff team? Yes. Do you think Canucks will be a playoff team? Yes. Do you think the Canucks will be a playoff team? Yes. Minsu, I think you press enter like 3 times in a row there. Is Hutton trade bait now? Oh, that's a good question. I heard talk on the radio. I really like Ben Hutton, and not just because he danced in my Christmas rap video with the Canucks a few years ago. I've always liked him. He's obviously had a big bounce back season this season, playing very well. So it really depends on what management sees as the future of the blue line. And there's a lot of other things you have to consider, right? What's going to happen with Edler? What's going to happen with Tanev? And on the yeah, because Hutton plays on the left side, if we think that Quinn Hughes is playing next season, which we do, if we think that Ole Ulevi is going to play next season, which we do, that's already 2 left-handed defensemen, right? Then let's say that Stetcher's back because he's good. Let's say that Chris Tanev is back. Let's say Edler leaves for the sake of argument and Chris Tanev comes back. Now you're 2-2 already. So there is a third spot on the left side that Hutton can play on, and then Gudbranson on the right. So could potentially our top 6 next year could be Hughes and Tanev, Ulevi and Stetcher, and then Hutton and Gudbranson. And I have a lot of time for that, actually. I think Hutton and Gudbranson have been playing quite well. They each had a goal tonight, which is pretty exciting. Yeah, I think they've been playing quite well together. They didn't play well together last year, you guys remember, but both Hutton and Gudbranson have been good. So with anything, good asset management, you want to see how he does, what's he going to fetch on the trade, on the trade market. We know that he needs a new contract. He has a heavy contract right now. So I don't worry about him getting traded at trade deadline to a playoff team, especially a contender if the Canucks are contending. They're not going to do that. And maybe they already have in mind what they're going to do, whether or not they're going to keep him or indeed trade him. I like the fact we won and PD didn't get much involved in the offense. Hutton really needs to be on the first team power play because, Pouliot struggled. There was one, it actually was right before the Canucks' second goal where, I don't know if you guys remember, Pouliot and Gudbranson were behind the net and they had the hardest time getting out of their zone because they were passing back and forth. They didn't know who was going to take it. I think Gudbranson put Pouliot in the back and then Pouliot put Gudbranson in the corner. Finally, they got out and it led to that really nice shift with Eriksson and then that led to Eriksson's first goal. So ultimately it ended well. But yeah, I'm not sold on Pouliot. I was surprised actually when they signed him. Maybe it was a blessing from a standpoint of they think he's a power play quarterback. But I'd love to see Stetcher or Hutton. I think Stetcher and Hutton are both smarter players. I think they're both more confident players. They may not have the same skating as Pouliot. Oh, but Stetcher's pretty good skater. Actually, they're both good. But I like how Stetcher and Hutton are able to hold the line and get pucks through. And Pouliot, he just makes a lot of mistakes. He's he's kind of high risk, high reward type guy. Feast or famine, as I like to say. I like the fact that we scored 8 goals of Brockout and Pettersson with a single assist. Me too. We can score without our better players. It was awesome. Yeah, that's the whole thing about secondary scoring, right? In the past few years, after the Sedins and Verbatim when he was here, who was there really? If Horvat wasn't scoring, then the Canucks scoring really dried up after that. Now, but with Brock Besser, with Pettersson, obviously as our stars, and Horvat, now you guys have guys chipping in like Virtanen, like Eriksson. 2 goals from the D today, 1 from Hutton, 1 from Gudbranson. That's good stuff. So yes, we need that to succeed, and the Canucks are getting secondary scoring in spades. Because there's one part where 2/3 of your primary scoring, Pettersson and Besser, were both out of the lineup at the same time. I'm curious to know your thoughts of Eriksson's play tonight. Motivated by the fact he used to be a Boston Bruin. Yeah, that's a good question, Snow Presto. I think it's hard to say. I don't know if you think naturally that players would get excited to play against their former teams. At the same time, that was a few years ago now, right? This is at least this is Eriksson's 3rd year with the Canucks. So I think that's kind of old history, but you always want to play well. And Eriksson has been playing well this season. We joke about little things Louis and all that stuff. And he gets a bad rap. Of course, he's making $6 million a year. By the way, if you go back and look at all the signings from July 1, 2016, 17, yeah, when he signed, there were about 6. Only the Victor Hedman contract was good and he's worth it. But there's about 5 or 6 contracts on that day that you say, man, that wasn't worth it. David Backes, Milan Lucic, Kalaposo, Franz Nielsen, I think, and I'm missing one, maybe Andrew Ladd or something. I know, and then Louis Eriksson. There are 6 of them that all made between 5 and 6.5 million, all between 5 and 6 years, all contracts that you could consider quite bad. But Eriksson is playing well, and yeah, with 2 and 1 tonight, 3-point game. I thought he was great. I have no complaints about him. He's good defensively. Actually, he's in my mind, he's really good with Sutter. With Sutter being out, he's played very well wherever they put him. And if it means a tiny bit more attention on him, or he's cleaning up Pettersson's garbage, or not garbage that Pettersson does, but you know what I mean, pucks around there, or stuff that Pettersson sets up for him, then that's a good thing. So no, I thought Eriksson had a great game. Is Gaudette a bust, or is he just snake bitten right now? Connor, I don't think Gaudette's a bust, given that he's played less than 20 pro games in his career. If he's winning 55% of his faceoff, if he gets 5 minutes of power play time on the second unit, as he did tonight, if he's getting 15 minutes a night and he's being defensively responsible, not a minus tonight. There's only 2 guys who are minus, is Roussel and Mott, actually. I didn't think Mott had a good game, by the way. Just a couple things I noticed where I think the first goal was actually his fault. He came in too deep, right? The Canucks were doing fine defending the Bruins 3-on-3, and then Mott came in and for some reason decided to come back and join the 3 Canucks defenders instead of picking up one of the trailers. Anyways, sorry about that tangent. You probably noticed, I don't think I have ADHD, but I go on a lot of tangents. And at 7:14, Father Harrison, I'm going to get to your news in a second. So is Gaudette a bust? No, I don't. I think it's way too early to consider him a bust. Who do you think will win, Sabres or Canucks next game? Easy one, Minsu. Canucks will win that one. Ron Campbell, I like Gaudette with 55% of the playoffs. Yeah, I agree with that. With OJ and Hughes coming, maybe the tail end of the season does Hutton become expendable. Yeah, I talked about that earlier. Hutton could be the third left side defenseman, especially if Edler doesn't come back. So I wouldn't say he's expendable yet, but you never know. Nathan, you were at Spirit Day on Sunday. I saw you. So sad to see Pettersson not score, but he got a point. Yes, he got a point. And for those of you wondering, and those of you who follow my YouTube channel, thank you. Those of you who subscribe, I was MIA a little bit over the weekend. It was our biggest church event of the year. Pitched our grade 7 rally for 2,100 kids and their chaperones, and we split them up. We did 1,300 on Saturday, 800 on Sunday, but long 14 to 16-hour days, not complaining. But that's where I was all weekend. And yes, Nathan, it was. I hope you had a good time. Okay, 7:15. So here's my good news. Then maybe this can kind of fuel some of discussion for the last 50 minutes. But I'm happy to share with you. I'm very happy, and I hope that you will share my excitement that I will be going to the NHL All-Star game in San Jose in 2019. And when I say I'll be going, yeah, it's one thing to be going. I have to pay for everything, but I only have to pay for my flight. I'm going with my good friend, Father Harrison Eyre. He's a priest, Catholic priest out in Port Alberni on Vancouver Island. And I met Father Harrison 2 years ago when we were both speaking at a youth rally. I was talking at a youth rally in Victoria. It was actually, it's funny. It was a Canucks theme. It was, this is what we live for. A kind of play on words of the cup is what we live for the Canucks. But of course, we were talking about our Catholic faith. Anyways, that's where I met Father Harrison 2 years. Since then, we've become pretty good friends. We traveled together before at conferences across the country. And Father Harrison was able to get tickets and is from a contact, and he's bringing me down. So thanks to Father Harrison's generosity, I'll be going to the All-Star game, and I'll be staying in a hotel and in San Jose. And those are comped, which is pretty cool. Can't say from who or by who, but I just know that I'm very grateful. So what I got to do is I got to pay for my flight. And in another weird sort of high school, I'm going to tease you a little bit from a standpoint of leave you hanging. Even my flight, it's not going to be comp, but I found a way to pay for the flight where I don't have any out of pocket because of a Canucks related initiative. I'm going to share that later when it comes up. It'll come up soon. I don't know when. That's kind of vague, but it doesn't matter right now. What matters most is that I'll be in San Jose at the end of January to see probably Pettersson and maybe Besser, maybe Horvat, who knows, but to see Pettersson in the NHL All-Star game and the skills competition and all the festivities. I've actually told the Vancouver Canucks creative staff that I'll be down there, not so that I'm doing anything for them in particular, but maybe if they want something from a fan perspective, or if I definitely do some blogs and vlogs when I'm down there, maybe do something fun, maybe not record a song when I'm down there, but certainly have a lot of fun taking the sights and sounds of All-Star Weekend. So that's my big news. That's what I've been kind of talking about for the past two weeks or so, but I can share it now because it was confirmed. Father Harrison and I have been talking all week. Now we're just tracking flights to make sure we get a good deal. So thank you for letting me share. Father Harrison, I don't know if you're still watching. Thank you for your generosity, and thank you for thinking of me. And I guess really I should thank my wife, my lovely wife, Gail, for allowing me to go. And really, I did give her a choice. No, I didn't really give her a choice. Okay, Father Harrison, if you're gone, thank you. If you're still here, thank you. And I'll check in with you later. So that's my good news. I'm going to the NHL All-Star game at the end of January in San Jose. Marky has started the last 6. Does Bachman get a shot while Nielsen is out? That's a good question. The only game I think that that Bachman would get will be I think there's a back-to-back coming up where it's Rangers and then the Islanders. Rangers first, Islanders second, I think, if that's the order, later sometime next week. And that would be the only game where I think that Bachman would start. Islanders are quite good, actually. They're atop of their division, but because it's a second, or maybe they go the other way and they play Bachman against the Rangers, who are at the bottom of their division. Regardless, I think that it's dangerous. Although the travel is basically no travel, it's the same city. You might not want to play Markstrom back-to-back, especially on the road. And they're winning, but it's crazy. You're letting in 6, letting in 5. It's being nuts. But as long as they're letting in less than the other team lets in, then I guess it's fine, right? So yeah, I see Nielsen. I see Bachman getting at least one start as part of this road trip, just to give Markstrom a bit of a breather. Excuse me. And Colin too. Yes, Colin will be good. Gadjevich will be good. There's a lot of guys that will be good down the road. Jonathan Dahlin as well. Father Harrison Hutton is very showing his value. Yeah, I agree. Pettersson's game, I thought he was fine. Gerder. There's one of you guys remember it. Actually, before the power play goal that he wasn't credited with assist for, he actually took a hit from Brandon Carlo on the sideboards, and I got scared for a sec because Pettersson kind of went down on the knee and kind of shook it off, and I saw him adjust his helmet, and then why do I keep doing that now? I just like feeling the top of my head and adjust his helmet, and then what he did was after the whistle, I know he took his helmet off and give his head a shake. I just worry about every time Pettersson goes into the sideboards, right, or in the boards, not because he's worried, but with his obviously concussion history. I thought his game was fine. He's not always going to get 5 points, but he got his assist. And I think he could have had at least 2 or 3 more assists. And I'm not blaming the other Canucks players. It's a game of inches. Pouliot hit the post, and then there are a couple other ones where I think he made some really good passes. And like, for instance, that power play goal where he could have gotten an assist if someone else didn't touch it before him. That doesn't make a lot of sense. You know what I mean? I thought Pettersson's game was fine, and he still gets his point. No goal, though. So now he's fallen off his goal game pace. Only 10 goals in 11 games for him. Hey, Clay. Hey, trade Tanev or Edler. Oh, that's tough. We hear about Edler not wanting to waive. I really think they want Chris Tanev here when Quinn Hughes comes here as a playing partner. So I don't think they trade Tanev. And you got to wonder what Tanev's value is going to be like, especially with injuries and stuff. And same with Edler. I don't see them trading either. I think, it's always nice to think Edler will allow himself to be traded. Maybe we get a late first or early second round pick or a couple picks or a pick and a prospect back for Edler or a pick and a roster player. Who knows what we get back for Edler. And then it would be nice to think he'd just sign with us on July 1 again and come back. But out of respect, to even ask him to do that. And if you don't, do your fans get mad at you? If you do, does that look disrespectful? Whatever it may be. My guess, if I had to guess, is that neither of them will be traded. I think Tanev comes back, and then Edler, it's a tough negotiation, but we will see. Mark allowed 13 goals in the past 3 games. Not good. Yeah, I acknowledge that, but he's led in 13 goals in the past 3 games, but we have scored 17 goals in those past 3 games. So is that right? 8 plus 2 plus... No, sorry, 7 plus 2 is 9. Yeah, we've scored 17 goals. So we're outscoring our opponent 17-13 in the last 3 games. That's pretty good. That's crazy. That's like a football score, 17-13. Goodbranson with the 4-game point streak. How do you feel? I like Goodbranson. I do. I think he brings an element on the blue line that we need. Not toughest guy. Everybody's big, and he can hit. And he had a great game tonight. I'm looking at a stat line right now. Goodbranson, a goal and an assist, +1. No penalty minutes, 1 shot and goal, 2 hits. He's had games where he's got 5 or 6 hits, 1 block, 18 minutes of ice time, 5 seconds, not really power play time, and then 4:48 on penalty kills. So him and Tanev 4:46, they're our most important penalty killers back there. I thought he was fine. A couple of mix-ups, but a couple of bad exit passes out of the zone, but that's what we come to expect from him. I thought he was fine tonight. Do you think Edler would take a trade and resign? Oh, I didn't even see that. And I talked about it. If our team is smart, we deal Nielsen, Edler deadline, beef up already strong. Yeah, I think that would be ideal. But as I mentioned just a couple minutes ago, I have a feeling that he won't waive. And I have a feeling that Jim Benning is the type of guy who will respect that wish and not move him, despite how upset we'll be, just like Dan Hamhuis when we didn't get anything for him a couple of years ago because the trade market dried up. But we will see. I like Pouliot, who is tied with Pettersson with +6. I do agree he misses the puck too often in passing. Yeah, Ron, I won't disagree with you. I just think that he's feast or famine, like I said, and maybe I concentrate too much on the famine stuff. Do you think Quinn Hughes gets a look in the few games of the season like Alvester Gaudette? Yeah, I think, Brandon, if Hughes' college team, Michigan, does not make the Frozen Four or they get knocked out early, much like Besser, much like Gaudette, and especially if he has the hunger and desire, the Canucks have shown they have no problem burning the first year of ELC's entry-level contracts. Yes, I do predict that we will see Quinn Hughes up with the Canucks for the last part of the season. And that'll be crazy. That'll be exciting. It would be insane if we made playoffs with Hughes on the back end as a public over. Yeah, I thought about that too. Imagine if we sneak in, or we might not sneak in. Imagine if we make the playoffs and then Hughes comes up and then plays for the playoffs. I think Chris Tanev did that last year. I think Charlie McAvoy did that for Boston. So it's not uncommon that we see a late season call up make an impact or at least play in the playoffs. That would be amazing. Your voice sounds a little cracky. Do you happen to have a cold? No, this is my normal voice, but I talk a lot. not only on YouTube videos, but at work, to my family, with my family, at church, whatever it may be. And I am actually, to be honest with you, Crimsonade, I may sound a little cracky because I'm coming off a 3-hour sleep as well. Marie and I hope you guys saw our new song. We did a song, a Marvin Gaye classic, How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You. And we dedicate it to Elias Pettersson. And of course, our version is How Sweet It Is, because he's Swedish, to be deked by you, which kind of doesn't make sense. It means like the opponent is singing to him. And then the rest of the song is us singing to Pettersson. Well, technically it's Marie singing. So I'm going to talk about that video at the very end of this video, the making of that. But yeah, I only had 3 hours of sleep because I basically edited till 2, went to bed at 3, got up at 6 to post on social media, and then left for my workout at 6:30. So I did bench press I'm a 44-year-old man. And today was the first time I ever did a bench press. I can't wait till next week when I actually put weights on the end of the bar, but it's kind of a joke. Okay. All right. Lastly, or a few more. Are you big on Cole Lind? Yeah, I really like Cole. And I thought he was pretty good in the Young Stars or the Prospects or the Summer Showcase, whatever you call it. He's noticeable. He can be a difference maker, but he's got to find consistency in his game. But yes, I do like Cole Lind. Okay, 5 minutes left, so I'm going to rip through some of these. Woohoo. Okay, so it looks like this is the section where the responses to the fact that I shared that I'm going to the NHL All-Star game in San Jose. So thank you for that. So woohoo, congrats, Clay. Wow, have fun. I kind of wonder what Canuck will be represented at the All-Star game. Yeah, remember when they went to this format 3 years ago of all the divisions, there's going to be, I think they go 6 forwards and 3 D-men, right? Because it's teams of 9 plus 2 goalies, teams of 11, I should say. So are there 6 forwards? Are there basically more, can the Canucks take up 2 of those forward spots? Or does Pettersson only play in Young Stars or play in the rookie classic or whatever and not play in the main one? Or I would love to see Pettersson and Besser or Pettersson and Horvat, but that's 2, of the 6 forward spots. I think if the Canucks are in a playoff spot, at that time they might, because who are you going to take from Vegas? No one's really standing out. Maybe, of course, Connor McDavid's a lock. Johnny Gaudreau's probably a lock. But then after that, like, who's a lock from LA? They suck right now. Who's a lock from Anaheim or Arizona? So maybe they can get 2. Doesn't matter. I'll be happy to see 1. I'll just happy I'll be down there. Congrats. Wow. Have fun. Pray. So Father Harrison says, pray for me. Everyone, you should go pray for yourself. You're a priest. Well, I'll pray for you too. No, you should pray for me. We'll pray for each other. Still, yes. I can't wait to. Father Harrison, very bright, knows a lot about the Canucks. Got a good following on Twitter because of his Catholic faith stuff, but also a very knowledgeable Canucks fan, and we message each other almost every game. So can't wait to spend some time with him. Ron, enjoy the trip in the game. See if Pettersson can win the same awards that Brock did last year. That would be amazing. Imagine 2 MVP back-to-back All-Star games. That'd be crazy. Maroki on defense. Clayton. So Maroki is my fellow founder. He's my co-founder, my partner in crime when it comes to the GLCPC, the good-looking Canucks Positivity Club. Make sure you subscribe to him if you haven't already. I'm sure a lot of you do. He's Maroki on defense. He doesn't post as frequently as I do, but that usually means he has much more meaningful things to say than I do, because I'm just filling content. I like to talk, as I mentioned, and I'm able to fill content every single day because of my work schedule and whatever. Brett's a very hardworking student back east, so I think that once a week is working for him, but I'll let him chime in if he wants to. But yes, Brett, welcome. GLCPC, let's go. How hard is it to remember that username when you log in? How hard is it to remember that username when you log in? I'm not sure what that means. Brett, you can type in what you mean. Is that to me or to someone else? Okay, well, I'll come back to that. The Canucks have the most goals in the league. Oh, that's cool, Costas. I didn't know that. I don't. Oh, okay, you're talking to ASFBBDF, or if it's spelled out as okay, so you guys are talking. That's good. Nathan Maroki, get on the video grind. Hey, Nathan, give the guy a break. He's a hardworking student. Minsu, I'm getting Canucks hat. I'm excited for his team. Good. People are still talking to Maroki. That's cool. Yes, follow Maroki. Subscribe to him. He did a really good video yesterday talking about Elias Pettersson. Yeah, there he goes. He's doing an internship. Good. I live in New York. I live in Vancouver. That's awesome. I have so many video ideas all the time that other people take the same idea. Yeah. Oh, well then. I just joined the chat. Samuel, join the chat. I'm like logging off in 2 minutes, but thank you. Horvat was a beast, 4 points. Amazing. Clay, how long did it take you to make the music video? It's awesome. I didn't get to watch the 3rd period, so Pettersson get a point. Okay, let's wind up on this. There's still 30 of you on here. Thanks for sticking with me. I'm going to fall right in my 40-minute window that I usually fall into. So let's finish off with this. Darren Ho first. I didn't get to watch the third period. Pettersson getting a point. Yes, Pettersson ended up getting an assist, a secondary assist on the Canucks. I think second to last goal, if I'm right. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But yes, Pettersson did get an assist on one of the last goals of the game. Are you big on Jack Rathbone and Tyler Madden? Rathbone, yes. Madden, I don't know enough about him. Minsu, thank you for asking. And lastly, I'm going to talk about the music video just for the last 2 or 3 minutes here. So Marie Huey is a really good friend of mine. I've known her for almost 15 years now, 15 or 16 years. I knew her from church circles. And surprise, surprise, she was the all-star singer in the worship team in the choir. And we've been good friends ever since. And we've done about more than a dozen songs together for the Canucks. And actually 2 for the Seahawks that have been even more popular than the Canucks songs just because of the volume of Seahawks fans. So that's how, hey, there's my son, Sean.
I'm going to go there, Jake.
Come say hi just for a sec. Come say hi. Because I'm getting off in the next 2 minutes. Just come say hi. You can take that on. All right, so this is, no, come here for a sec. We're not going to put you on the spot like we did today. So this is Sean. He's at Canuck_Sean, grade 12. He is Jacob's older. Are you better looking than him?
Much better.
Older and better looking brother. You're going to find your keys. This is the guy I take to a lot of hockey games. Okay, peace. See you later.
See ya.
We'll eat dinner when you get home.
Okay.
Okay, so that's Sean. Okay, let me finish the story. So Marie and I have done about over a dozen songs for the Canucks, a couple songs for the Seahawks. We've done Christmas carols for the Vancouver Canucks, 3 of them, including one of them where we got to meet and dance with Jake Vertanen and Ben Hutton. It's a little cringy, but pretty fun. And then we've had this idea to do this song for Elias Pettersson, of course. And she said, well, what songs do you want to do? And I said, basically, I want to do one of these 2. Either How Sweet It Is by Marvin Gaye, but it's How Sweet It Is because Pettersson's Swedish. See what I did there? Or I want to do Finesse by Bruno Mars, which, dripping in finesse, which Elias Pettersson does as well. We went with How Sweet It Is just because, more timeless kind of thing, although the Finesse song was very popular. And we've done a couple of Bruno songs before. So this is how long it took. On Tuesday at work, I wrote the song in 7 minutes. I'm not trying to show off. I'm not trying to look good or bad. It took me 7 minutes to write the song. And maybe it shows because it's kind of rudimentary, but I was proud of the lyrics. I used terms like out of this world, i.e. alien. I talked about deking, going left, going right, whatever it may be. I talked about this shot, whatever it may be. I used PD in there. So it took 7 minutes to write the song. I sent it to Maria on Tuesday night. She had the email. She had the lyrics on Wednesday, but she was traveling in Victoria all day. So she basically sang it for the first time when she showed up at my house at 10 o'clock Wednesday night, last night. So from 10 o'clock to 10:30, we practice it. There's Kayla and Mickey. Kayla, you want to say hi? Everyone's coming today. Come here real quick. We're spanning the length of this video. So this is Kayla, my daughter. So now you've met all 3 of my kids. Jake, last time, he's the middle guy. He's 15. Kayla's turning 11 in December. Sean's 17. And this, you've already met Mickey. He looks tired. Okay, I'm going to finish off. I'll be off in a couple minutes. All right, so let's finish this. Marie comes over, 1 or 2 pass-throughs the song, and she nails it. She nails the phrasing. She nails the lyrics. And then basically, so that's 10 to 10:30. Then we set up the cameras and the lights from 10:30 to 11. And then from 11 to 11:30, we basically recorded. So, and then I edited from 12 to 2. It wasn't a long editing job. It was just typing up the subtitles, the words, the lyrics. And then from 2 to 3, I set up some social media posts, uploaded to YouTube. It was a 1.2 gig file, so it doesn't look like it, but it is. And then set that up. And then went to bed at 3, got up at 6, posted it across social media, and then left for my workout at 6:30. So all in all, I'd say total time for both of us, not including the editing, to write and to record, we did it all within 90 minutes. And then you add another 90 minutes of editing. So let's say the whole project took 3 hours. So we're actually proud of how efficient we were. It was an easy song for me to play, not because I'm so good, but it was only about 4 or 5 different chords. And honestly, you guys know Marie is so awesome. She can sing anything. She can make anything sound good, any style, power ballad, rock, R&B, hip hop, rap, soul. And this one was soul. This was Motown. We haven't done a lot of Motown songs, so I was very happy with how it turned out. So if you haven't checked it out, look it up. I'll put it in the comments later. But if you haven't seen it already, I'm hoping the Canucks tweeted out. It was on Sportsnet 650. They played it a couple times this morning, which is cool. A couple of TV stations may pick up on it tomorrow. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I kind of share it with some Twitter people, some media people. But if it gets picked up, great. If it doesn't, great. It doesn't matter. I'm not worried about the views or making money. Obviously, I'm just more worried that I'm happy that I'm able to express my fandom in a creative way. Okay, so thanks for sticking with that explanation. For some of you that may interest you, for others you might say, well, that was the most boring 5 minutes ever. Well, I apologize, but I'll ask you to go watch the video if you haven't watched it already. It's called "How Sweet It Is to Be Deked by You," RO to Elias Pettersson. Okay, I'm just gonna finish off now. Just join the chat. Third period. Jack Rathbone talked about that. Do you think we need Jack Hughes in 2019 draft? No, I don't think we need him. And I really don't think, well, if we're a playoff team, we're not going to get a chance to get him. And obviously, there's no way we're going to finish in the bottom 5. Yes, anyone can jump up in the lottery. That's the whole point of the term lottery. But I never used the word TANK. I can't even say it because that doesn't guarantee anything either. So no, I don't see us having a good shot at Jack Hughes. Anything can change. But what I do see is it's still going to be a really exciting time, especially if the Canucks have a really good season. It's going to be a fun time at that draft. What's your schedule for a live stream, Samuel? It's very, very erratic. I look at my work schedule, my church schedule, my family schedule, and I try and do them once a week or once every 2 weeks. And the only way I publicize it is on Twitter and in the YouTube videos that I do on my channel daily for about 2 or 3 days up to it. So there's no set schedule, but that might be a good plan for me for December is to set 3 or 4 so people know. I'm sorry, Moroki, I didn't get a chance, or Brett, I didn't get a chance to say hi to Sean. I'll ask him if he has senioritis. I think the Bruins focused too much on Pettersson. That's why they lost, perhaps. Cute dog. Thank you, Ben. And do you think Pettersson is next Mario Lemieux? I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say he's the next Lemieux. I'm not going to say he's the next Gretzky or the next Pavel Datsyuk, the next Pavel Bure. I'm just happy that we have him and that he's part of our team and hopefully a part of our team for a long time to come. And lastly, wind up with this one. Do you post game live stream after every game? No, Minsu, I go once every week or once every 2 weeks, depending on what my schedule allows. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you. You're on my YouTube channel. If you are not subscribed to me already, I invite you to do so if you want. Channel's growing slowly but steady. Very excited about that. But please subscribe to the video, subscribe to this channel. I do a Canuck video, at least one video every day, usually in the morning, sometime in the morning. And if Canucks news breaks in the afternoon or in the evening, either practice or whatever, then I'll either delay my video or I will do a second video. Once in a while, I'll do a fun little interview or a song as we saw today. But yes, I encourage you to subscribe to my channel. Brett's on here, so subscribe to Moroki on defense as well. He does really good stuff, and he's more pointed with his stuff. He's more strategic, whereas I just kind of go with a shotgun approach. Every morning, turn on my phone, turn on my camera, and whatever I say, it sticks. I don't edit. I'm too lazy to edit. I don't know how to. Well, I know how to edit, but I'm too lazy. I like the one stop, one shot. I like to say it's my Canucks take, all in one take. So thanks for joining me. I say bye to everyone there, and really appreciate you taking the time. Enjoy the rest of your night. The beautiful thing about these early East Coast games, it's 7:30. You guys can go do whatever you want. I'm going to go eat my pork chop casserole. Well, I guess I should find the rest of my family first. Have a great night, guys. Thanks a lot. Go Canucks, go. God bless. Take care.